From Craig Rolson in Europe, David Gerber in Brazil, and our editor-in-chief and publisher, Don Oshman, it's time for this week's Sunday Night Week in Review.
Good evening. Welcome to another issue, another night of HideNet Sunday Night Week in Review. My name is Don Oshman, editor-in-chief of HideNet Publications, and we're going to start off tonight, as we usually do, with Craig Rolson's report from Europe. Craig reports this week that the GDS footwear show in Dusseldorf was okay, but nothing terrific. And of course, Russia is being missed at a lot of these European events because of the import-export restrictions and, of course, their economy, which everybody knows about. So there's been better GDS shows than this one, and not to say that it was bad, it just was not terrific. ILF India closed this past week. A lot of joint ventures, Craig reports, with some 40 Italian tanners were there, and everybody's looking for a low-cost production, and a lot of Italians were interested, for one, in making deals with the Indian footwear manufacturers and tanners probably. Price-wise, there was some Italian business between Irish 36s at about $2 euro delivered northern Italian tannery, and some North German 40-49 kilo bulls managed to sell for around €2 delivered. Veal skin market was flat, and the sheepskin lambskin market did not show any improvement. North America this week, in general, steers were steady, and the cow sector remained firm. Very low supply and decent demand. West Coast port update, it's still going on. It's still terrible. It takes about 2 or 3 weeks now longer to get hides on a vessel to go to Asia for Americans, and to bring footwear in, or anything to do with import and export, and not just footwear and leather and hides. It's everything in the economy, and it's a big deal for the North America. Also a big deal for Asia. And then the situation could be coming to a head because there were more meetings, threats of a lockout from the workers. Not a good situation. Maybe, let's hope it comes to a head this week and we get something going. Also in our North American U.S. Week in Review report this week, we have a story about the cattle on feed as of January 1st, and herd rebuilding is in progress. You know, the supply of cattle has gone down about 10% so far in the last 2 years. So there's finally herd rebuilding going on. Outstanding sales report was over 4 million head this week. That's the highest in 16 months. Some of that could be because of the West Coast port strike. That remains to be seen. Shipments were 497,600 head. Combined sales exceeded slaughter, but shipments were below slaughter. We have a good story, I believe, on origin pricing, how tanners have become more sophisticated. They want to buy from this particular abattoir and not that one, and will pay accordingly or won't pay accordingly. Latin America this week, Brazilian fresh hides were steady. Argentine wet salted prices drifted lower, although the crust prices were about steady. Brazilian wet blue prices softened a little bit. Paraguay, we hear that wet blue prices, slaughter is up. Central America, wet blue prices are about steady. A story about how JBS won the Leather Working Group Award. And CICB, the Association of Brazilian Tanners, has asked the government for some export help in leather. And then, speaking of leather, in our This Week in Leather issue, we talked about Brazilian 2015 exports expected to decrease. That's dollar value. China's 2014 leather production is a story about that. In India, Kanpur starts closing 98 tanneries. They've done that in the last 2 weeks because of pollution situation. The Bangladesh leather sector, there's a big loss due to a blockade. China factory sector shrinks in January. Deckers missed their third quarter guidance based on UGG's shortfall. Ferragamo's 2014 revenue rose 5.9%. Tata International is going to expand their footwear capacity. Lear, now the owner of Eagle Ottawa, said their fourth quarter profits surged based on North American growth. Everybody predicts a surge in North American car sales this year. LVMH earnings misses estimates, and nanotechnology for leather and footwear is improving. That's just some of the stuff you can get by subscribing to HideNet.com. Also, watch out for news of our next HideNet forum scheduled for February 17th. It's going to be terrific. So far, we're going to have Andy Seward, used to be formerly from Clark Shoes, Mike Larson, the largest seller of American wet blue and raw hides in the world, is going to be in our forum. It's going to be on Tuesday, February 17th. We'll have more on that in coming editions. Thank you for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same station. Bye.